There we go. That was weird. The first time I clicked start streaming, it just kind of didn't work. That was very strange. Hello, gamers. Welcome to the stream. Bang. We are doing more of the same as last time. We lost quite a bit, unfortunately, though that really mostly had to do with variance, notably in the lands market over and over and over again. So, Emperor Bones was pretty good every time we got it into play. So I don't know. I'm gonna keep trying it out. I don't know. I think the game, like, obviously there's a lot of matchups where it won't do anything. You know, you don't really want Emperor Bones against Oops or whatever. But I feel like there's just so many matchups where it feels like the game goes on for a long time, and there's always a Solitude in your yard that you evoked earlier. And sometimes you just need a couple extra good top decks against like a Barrogoyf or whatever. So. So we are going to run it back and we'll see how it goes this time. We will see if we can get to the end of Mr. Bones' Wild Ride. Not much else to talk about, I think. Yeah. No updates or anything on my end. So I think we're just gonna roll. Just gonna wait for people to show up, and then we're getting into it. One thing I am gonna pay attention to again. I mentioned this last time. You know, Emperor of Bones requiring double black means that like you have to get scrubland a bit more than you want. There's a possibility of playing like a second basic swamp. I don't think just 2 Emperor of Bones is enough to push the needle that far, but we should keep an eye on it, you know. So excuse me. Another thing that I'm gonna try to keep my eye on is like I'm not really a believer in the one of White Orchid Phantom that Yoshiwada is still playing in his Overlord list. Just because like I think it's the card that's really only that good in multiples. Like the more you cast it, the better it is. So one of doesn't really make that much sense to me, but I'm gonna keep an eye out for any scenarios where I feel like I would be happy to recruit for it or whatever. I suspect the answer won't be, but I just want to keep that in mind because he is doing very well with his build of the deck. And I assume the White Orchid Phantom is still in there for some reason. So. And I think that's about it for me. So let's get into it. Bad timing to yawn as soon as I'm talking. Leave non-basic lands alone. I don't know if I'd go that far. Like I'm a historic basic land annoyer with Rashad and Port, so I'm equal opportunity really. Oh boy, Joel, huh? Let's see. This is a pretty good hand against Joel, so we're gonna do it. All right, let's see what's going on over there. Usual nonsense. This hand looks pretty bad, huh? If only Ponder cost 2 mana, I could therapy both of them. That'd be pretty cool. I think I'm gonna get rid of the Beseech the Mirror. I think it is the card that could threaten to do something really bad to us the most. Um, I suspect what's gonna happen is next turn he's gonna Ponder. I'm probably gonna therapy the other Ponder. Um, and then cast Aether Vial. I could also get rid of the Shield Red, but like I don't know. I'm gonna have a lot of. I have a lot of removal in my deck. I don't think I care about Shield Red that much. Um, but yeah, I think therapying the second Ponder, we get to see the other two cards they drew plus pondered into to figure out what we could potentially um flashback with the Bowmasters. Yes, we're just gonna name Ponder. Oh no. Oh dear. Okay. Well, I certainly will be flashing back the therapy on the show and tell, or I won't be. Okay, never mind. Chrome Mox is a hell of a draw there. We have a lot of draws, especially because I'm going to be trying to surveil into something. Not that. I'm going to put Yorion into my hand now so that I have a white card to pitch to a Solitude. My draws right now are Caracas and Solitude, and I think that's it. But 8 is a decent amount. Nope. All right. Yeah, that Chrome Mox off the top was real good. Bring in Flutes, Containment Priest. I imagine these plows are all pretty terrible. I'm going to bring in Deafening Silence against the Beseech the Mirrors. And I'm going to bring in Mindbreak Traps because they're probably better than a good amount of the cards that I have in my deck, but I don't expect them to do a whole lot. think it's either Wisp or I guess I think this is a good matchup to get rid of the second Formal Wear, actually. That's fine. Yeah, so I think I was that was a 12 outer into. I wonder what the odds there are there actually, given I surveilled I surveilled to draw into a potential 12 outer, I think, with Caracas, Solitude, and Recruiter. And then um and then after that it was an 8 outer because Recruiter wasn't an out without lands in play. Um and I don't know how the math works on that because hypergeometric calculations are famously pretty hard to do in your head. So, um, but I'm curious how close that was. I would love to play first. What do we got? Yeah, this will work. This looks pretty good. Not sure if I'm playing Vile or Thoughtseize first. I think I can play Vile first, honestly. The adder would let us at one with no land stuff. Yes, that is certainly true. Um, Not clear where that 8 outer gets us, but it's something at least, you know? It's something to aspire to. Ooh. Straight into a brainstorm, huh? Well, that makes this Thoughtseize feel a bit better, actually, that he's already brainstormed. Um, I think I'm just taking the stock up. It's stock up or beseech. Um, it's gonna be. I'm gonna get rid of the stock up. Leaving him with beseech certainly has its risks, but whoops, I clicked away the beseech instead of the. Okay, there's a beseech in here. I don't know why I clicked away the swamp instead, or the beseech. Yeah, I'll keep therapy on top. That fixes all my problems. This is going to get rid of beseech. He has omniscience. Okay. Beseech 6, 5. There we go. Okay. Well, I have Witch Enchanter in hands for if that omniscience gets showed into play. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's start with this. I think I'm just getting rid of Ponder here, honestly. I do not care about Long Goodbye, like, basically at all, so yeah, I'm gonna tick up here, I think. Definitely an argument for staying on 3 here with the Wisp in hands, but I think I would honestly rather just I'm just gonna Surveil here, then I'll waste the C. Don't want that. Goodbye to the Underground Sea. That's something. Is that better than putting Yoran in play here? Um, I think it is, especially now that our clock is a lot slower. Let me think. So I put Thalia into play. We attack for 4. They go to 7. On that turn, I get to put Yorn into my hand to have lethal. If I put Yorn in my hand now, it's also a 2-turn clock. So yeah, we should just play Thalia now. We're killing in 2 turns either way. So keeps a card on top. Here is theoretically full. Exile nothing. Yeah, okay. Cool. All right, I think I boarded right. Happily drew a lot of discard. Even if we didn't get to flashback those therapies, that was okay. But discard, pretty good in a matchup like this. Basically the best thing you can be doing. This is pretty good. Yeah, I like a lot about what's going on here. A lot of disruption, not much of a clock, but it's going to be tough for him to do anything through this hand. Okay. Uh-huh. This is a what is this going to be on? Okay. All right, that makes sense. Do I take the Atraxa or the Show and Tell? I think I take the Atraxa actually because Show and Tell on Omniscience right now would actually kind of be fine. Um, it's actually pretty interesting though. So I guess I'm probably supposed to take the Show and Tell because Atraxa or there's probably a lot more stuff to put in off Show and Tell than ways to get a Show and Tell onto the stack. So I think I'm supposed to take the Show and Tell just because it's the most pivotal part of the deck. Yeah. I had to think about it for a second, but yeah, we're definitely supposed to just take the Show and Tell. Maybe one argument for taking the Atraxa actually is that we could flute Show and Tell right now and basically turn it off, but um I'm not really sure that's what we want to be doing. So I think I'm just gonna hold up flute and surveil here. Um I could also just flute Show and Tell now, just to be safe. Yeah. I think I am. Yeah, that is what we're doing. Just had to think about it a bit more. Mhm. Okay. Can flicker Chrome Mox. I think that's worth doing to get a clock in play. Yep. Now we're cooking. It's just going to get a Cauldra. Can finally surveil. If he has long goodbye or something for the Stoneforge, then we have formal wear. That's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. So notably, if he finds a Show and Tell, he's only 1 mana off of it right now. Oh yeah, I guess playing the Deafening Silence there is pretty free, huh? I hadn't, like, had the mana to cast it, so it just, like, kinda disappeared or I didn't have the mana to cast it for, like, multiple turns, so then I just, like it just, like, disappeared from my hand as far as I was concerned. Okay. I will take that, yeah. I'm gonna get rid of the Atraxa because I don't actually care about an Omniscience because of my Deafening Silence. Um, go ahead and do this, get Sash. Now I'm gonna play the Deafening Silence, attack with Wisp, and he's dead in 2 turns? No, he's dead. He's dead now. He's over it. All right. All right, we are on the play. It's Yorion Mirror. Oh boy. Is it the cool kind of Yorion Mirror or the bad kind of Yorion Mirror? This hand feels not great. I don't think it's worth mulliganing against another Yorion deck specifically, but it doesn't feel very good. Based. I wish I had an Aether Vial. Oh man. Um Normally I would save this, but unfortunately Aether Vial has the problem that it negates the problem that you run into in the mirror where like you basically always pass the turn with a card in your hand that your opponent would love to get out of your hands. Um but since they have Aether Vial and I'm not answering it anytime soon, I don't really have the opportunity to like therapy a formal wear before my opponent after my opponent stone forges for it. That said, what am I getting rid of here? Um it could be so many different things. I'm gonna go with Stone Forge Mystic. No, 2 Thought Seizes. Geez, okay. Stoneforge or Recruiter, I think, are the 2 most realistic names. But this early, you're kind of going blinds. I maybe could have waited 1 more turn before I cast it, but all right, there goes my Recruiter. I suspect this is going to take my Emperor. Yep. Okay. Cabal Therapy definitely feeling a bit worse than Thoughtseize in this scenario. Is that the same recruiter? It is. Okay. That's not what I would get, but okay. Okay. We've got something to do here. Mm-hmm. Another recruiter. Okay, that kind of stinks. Um, so bleh. They have just a really good draw for the mirror, and I don't. I'm gonna take the recruiter, and I have to solitude the Felia. I guess I just solitude the recruiter now. Yeah, that's what I do. So now they have two ways to flicker and nothing to flicker, which is why in their scenario I would have gotten a Stoneforge Mystic off of that recruiter, but I think they're gonna beat me either way here, unfortunately. That is pretty risky of them. Okay. That's also not what I would do. Yeah, that's a good draw. That's like exactly what I needed. Do I what am I taking here? Um they're gonna have 3 lands. I'm wondering if I just have to take the swords because if the game is getting to the point where they're casting a Yorion, I'm probably losing anyway. And I think I like really want my solitude to be able to stabilize me. I guess then I'm losing to the Yorion that way. So maybe okay, I think I just have to take the Yorion, play to my understanding of the matchup. I'm gonna take some damage. If I can draw lands to cast the solitude, I'm in a decent position. Not amazing, but it's okay. That's not what I needed. How did I know he drew you? I'm just that good. I've played this matchup a lot. I'm an expert, actually. All right, we still have some opportunities still. That's not one of them, unfortunately. All right, let's board in a lot of good cards. Cut these horrible Thalias. I have a lot of cards to bring in. What do I even do here? What else do I do? So I think I'm at least trimming a Bowmasters, notably in current D&T, especially in the Overlord builds. There's actually very few X1s. It's like Recruiter and Flicker Wisp, and that's basically it. They're not dead. You can still get you can still like get Ophelia in combat, stuff like that, but I'm gonna shave on him at least. I could go down to one formal wear for similar reasons. I would normally keep in. I think this is probably a scenario where we have to get rid of Sash too. Unfortunately, I don't hate Sash. I think unfortunately against Overlord, it kind of gets overloaded. When you just have formal wear you're trying to keep in check, I think Sash is a good tool, but I think against Overlord, there's just like no way. In addition to the fact that like Sash doesn't interact with Overlord triggers. Will I play D&T mirrors with you? Maybe. I mean, I probably like a D&T mirror more than most. I think everything else I got going on looks good though. So we'll submit. All right. Good hand in the mirror. How about that? This hand's pretty good in the mirror. The only, probably the biggest problem with it is that I have to get a Scrublands, but opponent, no, don't do that. I mean, they probably are going to draw a land, but next question is: do they cast Stoneforge or do they cast Overlord? I guess Stoneforge. I think that's probably right, but it lines up better into the swords that I have here. So they get Cauldron. That's okay. That's a bit much. Do I think I'm going to Surveil here. Can I get a Cabal Therapy? No. I will keep a Caracas, though. I do need lands. The fact that I need lands is maybe a good enough reason to have not surveilled, but... Man, imagine if I got a Therapy, though. Just, like, discard 4 cards. Another Stoneforge. Okay, okay. That's pretty lucky. Getting a formal wear here, I assume. Yep. Okay. Next question is, what am I actually therapying now? Because formal wear, pretty good against Cabal therapy, unfortunately. Um, I think I am taking the Overlords and the Cauldra. And then I think I can deal with the formal wear in the long run, particularly with this Vial on 3. I guess the recruiters aren't even going to the yard anyway, because I have to proactively cast the Bowmasters, so, or put the Bowmasters in play at least. So my opponent will have 2 recruiters and a formal wear. All are good cards, but they're still stuck on 2 lands right now. I'm honestly now thinking of a world where we let them have Cauldra because we could recruit for a Wisp on it. The only problem then is that, like, if I'm not taking Cauldra, I'm taking the recruiters, and then formal wear is good again. So this is actually like a. All right, I'm taking a screenshot of this one. This one's good. This one's really good. Whew, boy. Man. Okay. I take the Overlords and the formal wear. My opponent could put in Cauldra. I can then recruit for a Wisp. They have recruiters, but I have a Vial, and I'll be close to like Bowmaster on, or like your enemy Bowmasters. I'm gonna take the formal wear, or take the Overlords, and then we'll see what happens after that. But I'm gonna start with the Overlords because I think that is probably the most certain part of this. My opponent has a Disruptor Flute. Interesting. Okay. So we'll get rid of those. And that's the rest. Man. This is like really, really tough. I so desperately want to take the recruiters, but it's just one turn too late. I'm just going to get rid of the Cauldra. Oh my gosh, too many cards. There we go. Okay, that's their hand. Going to cast a recruiter here. Okay. You got it. Curious what this gets. What would I get in their position? I already have a flute for the Vial, so I'm not really interested in getting like a Loran I normally would be. Could get a Solitude maybe, but I'm not really presenting any Solitude targets here, really. I could see getting Loran just because like flute isn't not a permanent answer to the Vial. I guess Solitude. Okay. I think that makes enough sense. No attack there. I guess I have my Vials on too. Um, Stoneforge. Okay. Stoneforge for. I don't have Sash in my deck, right? I don't have Sash. So that would probably just be Stoneforge for Cauldra forces out the Solitude, which is good in its own way for me. I guess this could also get the Flute out, which would also pretty much be fine. What would I do in their spot? They could potentially take a Cauldron hit or two. But I don't know if they're really in a position to do. I think if they do that, they have to Flute my Vial. I think honestly, if they like Flute my Vial Wasteland me, they're probably in a pretty good spot. Oh, they get rid of the formal wear. That simplifies so much, actually. I assume they're going for Stoneforge. All right, cool. Flute. I'll activate my Vial. I think this is just gonna get a Skyclave Apparition. I could get Lauren. I just want to get an answer to the Flute because the Vial in the long run is gonna just like take over this game. I'm gonna go for. I'm gonna get Lauren. So I really need to draw a land here. Unless they don't wait. I'm assuming I've been assuming this whole time that they're wastelanding me. Who knows? Maybe they won't. Notably, now that Cauldron has been discarded and Formal Wear has been pitched to a Solitude, their Stoneforges are more or less dead. They still likely have Phantom Blade in the deck. I doubt they have Sash, but they could. I'm really glad they wasted my Karakas specifically because it means that a Karakas draw is good. Nice. Let's get rid of that. I get to Yorion next turn, and game's more or less over from there, I think. I should not have exited that out. Could be like a Skyclave instead. No, it's a critter. Okay. Flicker Wisp. Okay. Um, yeah. I'm definitely trading my Lauren off here. I could even see trading off the recruiter, but I think trading off the recruiter when I'm about to Yorion is probably not the right play. But I think I'm pretty happy to trade these off, and then I'm going to Bowmaster the recruiter. They can only wisp the Stone Forge, which gets a Phantom Blade, and that's just not that big a deal to me, I don't think. Yeah, I'll take that trade. Okay. Solitude on the recruiter. Sure. Yeah, that's fine. All right, cool. Um, no changes. Yeah, no changes. This hand's a little bit clunky on the draw. It might be good enough. Yeah, I'm going to keep it. It's not the best, but I'm not that far ahead and they have like 2 minutes clock on me. Yeah, I mean, I don't really think that there's enough top decks that they should have played it out for sure. But I also get it to a certain extent. What are they thinking about for this long? You got it. Do I hard read the call draw out of their hands? No. I'm just gonna therapy the formal wear, and if they have, if they happen to have Cauldron in their hand, it'll force me to Solitude. But Damn it, they have wastelands. They have 2 wastelands. That's pretty bad. Um, but thankfully their hand is not that good. So can I draw lands after keeping a 2-lander on the draw? Last stream, I could not. Repeatedly could not. So hopefully it goes better for me this time. We'll just have to see. Thankfully, I have quite a lot of time. Um, oh, well, was that a misclick? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Just give me fetch lands, please. Okay. I would have preferred a fetch land that could get basic swamp, but being able to cast any of my 3 drops next turn potentially is at least something. Just naked fluting, sure, you got it. Naked fluting does sound like something else. I'm gonna use a different phrase next time. Good point. I wonder what I would flute in there. You know, that does sort of make sense. Yeah. Yuck. Yeah, I think my opponent's gonna soon learn why we do not recruit for Flicker Wisp anymore. Oh god. That's not what I wanted to see. Uh-huh. I think I'm getting rid of a Wisp here. Yeah, I am gonna get rid of a Wisp. Maybe I wanted Wisp to block theirs, but I think I'm more likely to just Skyclave their Wisp. If I can ever draw another lands. Okay. True, we can Bowmaster it also, yeah. All right, I get to F6. Not even sure what I take. I guess they probably just have to take Formal Wear. Taking anything else doesn't really make sense with Formal Wear in the picture. They could take Cauldra, but I don't think they really want to be playing a game that long against my hand, so They take the cabal therapy. You know, that'd be pretty based, let's be real. I'll take Skyclave. That doesn't seem right to me, but okay. Okay. Just one land and 6 draws, and you get to cast Ophelia? Yeah, okay. Sure. Uh, it's a repeat of Sunday? Sunday. I had to think about what day it was. What if I just took Scrubland out of my deck? Just play nothing but basics. God, 8 Marsh Flats, please. Yeah. There we go. Jesus. It stings to lose the mirror of all matchups like that. I feel like Grim Lavamancer has been on Reanimator a lot lately. We'll keep this. Once again, wish this was a Marsh Flats. I have to buy their sideboard guide? No. I don't want to play Thalia. All right, my upkeep, my main phase. What's Thoughtseize? Oh. Yeah. Okay. A Nadu deck of some sort. Let me go ahead and Bowmaster now while they're tapped out. I don't really think I want this. I also have formal wear. Yeah, I'm gonna bin that. Oh, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. My opponent should be at 16. Come on, just brainstorm. You know you want to brainstorm. Hedge Maze is making me lean very slightly towards Breakfast as opposed to Bant Nadu, just because I think Bant Nadu usually plays Lush Portico over one of those. But it's a very slight lean. Um, I think I am going to also play Sash for that reason. Band usually plays, yeah, Portico Archive, yeah. Borrowzors, thank you so much for the follow. How's it going? Welcome. Yeah, sure. Did I forget to X out this Flooded Strand? I think I did. Yeah, okay. They've now played all the cards we knew about. Hello, Cephalid Illusionist. How's it going? Is there a Nomads and Core on the way? Well, how about no? There's like no shot they didn't have the combo because otherwise they're not. There's like really no world where they're plowing this Ash there otherwise. Okay. I will put Yorn in my hands. And pretty happy if they trade off here, I'm pretty sure. See, I'm attacking. Cool. All right, just don't have like Nadu here or something because that would be stupid. They probably will because that's just how it goes. Oh, or just another illusionist, sure. Didn't draw cantrips, just drew the combo. I assume we're going to learn nothing notable here, but gonna make them do it just to be sure. There's a Spell Pierce. I have seen that, and I think I got Spell Pierced last time I played against Breakfast. All looks pretty standard so far. Nothing really out there. I think only one Teferi that we see. The other one could be in their hands, but okay. All right, we're gonna board in all of these. I'm gonna get rid of one formal wear. I don't really like Emperor in this matchup, and I don't really like Thalia in this matchup either. So I think we're gonna go with this. Yeah, this looks right. Excuse me. It's funny thinking about how my boarding here against breakfast and my boarding in the mirror is like 2 cards off. It's very close. Honestly, I probably board these 7 cards against a lot of different decks. There we go. Uh, this hand is okay. I at least can pretty freely surveil into my 3rd lands. I have 2 pieces of it. Yeah, we'll keep it. I really would like Phantom Blade to stop being in my opener, though. It feels like that's been happening a lot, too. Keep. Okay. All right. Land. Cool. Funnily enough, I don't think I'm actually casting a card here. I don't want to have just Solitude going into their 3-mana turn, though if they just cast a Teferi here, I will certainly feel a little upset about that. I have Skyclave for Teferi, it's not the end of the world, but favorite thing about non-cantrip decks is the 2 landers you have to keep that never get there. Story of my life. Paying costs. Ponder, you got it. Okay. Perfect. What am I recruiting for? Kind of feeling like it's just a Bowmaster. Could be Containment Priest, but I don't really like proactively recruiting for a card that's dead against Nadu. Um, I think it's a 2-drop. I could see it being Bowmaster or Stoneforge, but I think I like Bowmaster just for being another piece of interaction. All cards are kind of dead against Nadu, but I've beaten more resolved Nadus than I think you would guess. Okay. Not my favorite, but again, I have the Skyclave. Yep. Yeah, I'll take another Solitude. I think I'm not sure if Solitude is better than. I'm pretty sure Fifth Land would be better than Solitude, but I think Solitude is better than most other draws. Okay, so I'm going to attack them. And I really need this Skyclave to resolve. All right, cool. Dress down as a creature, please. You could do like a creature dress down that's like all even like imagine this creature dress down. It's like a 1/2 or a 2/2 with flash 2 mana. Like yeah, I can. What would be cool is like a end of turn effect that like no all non-land permanents like don't have abilities this turn. I'm gonna get dazed here. I know it. Okay, thank God it resolves. Okay. Okay. And they untap, so I get to Bowmaster this. Okay. Okay, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about our chances right now. I'm just gonna attack with Skyclave. I don't want them to get a 2-for-1 off of a plow. Kind of go mono away for Suppression Field. I have never put Suppression Field into play myself. I have heard from people I trust that every time they've played Suppression Field, it has just been hot garbage, and I'm inclined to believe them. Good old Disenchant. Hell yeah. I don't know why you would play Disenchant against me, though, to be totally honest. I guess maybe if they're assuming that I'm the Overlord build, it makes more sense, actually. All right, they have almost all their fetchable lands in play. I'm guessing they have like one more Trop, one more Tundra Plains, something like that. Okay. Narcomoeba in your hands. Deal. Can I draw land 5, please? Nice. I wish I could attack with anything else, but I just kind of can't right now. Yeah, all the hate pieces that hate generic good cards and force you to not play good cards, yeah. What are other examples of that? I know that there are, I just can't think of them off the top of my head. I'm tempted to flash in one of these solitudes, but I think that's kind of cope. True. Rest in peace is kind of like that, huh? Okay, that feels a bit better. That's something I can just go ahead and cast. I think I'm just gonna recruit for another Bowmaster. I think I could also. Or realistically, I don't, because the whole reason I'm doing this is it's obvious they have a plow in their hands. This does put the shields down a little bit. I only have one piece of interaction against the combo, but resolves. That's pretty good, actually. Yep, so that's fine. Yeah, okay. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to Stoneforge for Lion Sash so that I have 2 Solitude plus white cards in my hands. And then or no, sorry, that doesn't work because hold up. Let me think. Because I was thinking I was going to cast Formal Wear for the Wisp, but if I do that, I only have 1 more white card. Maybe I just get Cauldra and put Yorion in my hands. Because the Flicker Wisp, getting the Formal Wear, putting in the Formal Wear for Wisp is really just for clock at this point. It's not really for anything else. So I think actually just Cauldra plus Yorion in hand does that, but safer. Yeah, Sash is definitely a real card, but I think at where we're at right now is really just about getting the game over with. That's mostly what we're after right now. That's pretty good. I think I'm happy attacking with those. It's possible it's supposed to be attacking with its Orc Army before. Um, and if I just keep my mana up, I have 3 layers of interaction because I can cast Solitude, I can cast Plow, and I can evoke a Solitude. And I think that is honestly good enough because, like, with that many layers of interaction, I can just cast a Solitude, and that's gonna be good too. Especially because I can cast a Solitude and then Formal Wear back my Wisp to get, like, these constructs out of the way if those are a problem. You got it. Wonder if they're thinking if they can even afford to attack here. If I were them, I probably wouldn't. Yeah. Um, yeah, I'm just gonna get a clock in play here. They gain some life, but I can live with that. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of both constructs here, so I'm gonna exile the one that's smaller with the Solitude, and then I'm gonna Wisp this one. Honestly, this might have been a good turn to just cast a Yorion now that I'm looking at it. Because we finally have another target for this Skyclave. I did not mean to attack with the Bowmaster. I meant to attack with everything else, but I did not mean to attack with the Bowmaster. Okay, worked out. They just don't have removal now, so I won't play around it. All right. Got lethal multiple ways and 2 removal spells. Also, the fact that we've already gotten rid of a Narcomoeba in their deck actually isn't nothing. I guess it's kind of nothing because they can Memory's Journey it back. And we don't have anything else going on that's gonna like make them um It's gonna punish them for using it, basically, so let's see what they mill. Nomads, nomad swords, okay. How about this? Ponder, Nadu Tundra, sure. Finally, they have a Force of Will. Force pitching a Consign to Memory. Uh, that can resolve. How about a Solitude? The fact that they pitched the Consign worries me. No, that was just their only other blue card. All right, I'll take it. I'll take it. So yeah, I think it would have actually been better if we had cast the Orion there instead of going for the formal wear on the Wisp, but worked out either way. But I think it was just too valuable to get the Shuko out of play, and I missed that because I played so long not having any targets from my Skyclave. Yeah, this works. It's a little clunky. Don't really want one of my lands to come into play untapped or come into play tapped with this hand, but um I'm gonna therapy for illusionist. Nope. Okay. Deal. Needle on Wasteland. Fine by me. Um, the flute is not super well positioned against their prismatic ending. Um, I guess I could just go Bowmaster flashback therapy on the ending. Looks pretty good. I'm not too concerned about the saga because I'm gonna flute the Shuko and I'm gonna have Wisp for the constructs. So yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Obviously, it's a lot of mana between here and there, but nomads. Okay. Some people should not be allowed to use pithing needle. I feel that sometimes. Okay. Um The nomads makes things a little bit tricky because flute on Shuko isn't a lock. Um, but I think we can probably get through this turn just holding up mana. Um, our construct's going to be very big, but that's what we have Wisp for. Um, I think what I'm going to do is play this backstreet now because I want to have 4 mana. Oh, well, that's a little too late, huh? Um, I guess it was always late. They played the stupid needle. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of this, but I want to get the tapped land out of my hand now so that next turn I can like wisp a construct while still holding up Path to Exile. Okay, let's play the nomads out. I think that yeah, I think I just have to throw flute out on Shuko now. I maybe it was supposed to do. No, I wasn't supposed to do it before because I could just die. So, but yeah, I think I'm gonna flute Shuko now. Um, because that lets me untap, wisp this construct. Thoughtseize, huh? Anyway, I was gonna say, lets me wisp this construct, path the nomads, and then they like don't have either half of the combo in play anymore. Uh, the only strong reason I see to cast this Thoughtseize here is if I think my opponent is holding Force Blue card. In which case, I kind of need my Wisp to resolve this turn. But it puts shield down on them just top decking a Nadu um or an illusionist. I don't think they would have forced the flute because they have redundancy here, right? They have the Shuko and nomads. They don't really care about the flute naming one or the other. I think it's just too terrible if I let them force here. Yeah, see. Um and I just have to do that. And thankfully, their last card in hand is Brainstorm, which, in its own fun way, basically already got Thought Seized. um, Snap Block. It's actually really important because they could just Brainstorm and um, all my Bowmaster triggers targeting nomads would just go to the construct. But once the construct has 3 damage on it, they can only do that once. Um, oh, well, now I can wait on the formalware a little bit longer, so that's cool. Another force, okay. Force brainstorm, okay. Okay, I have to take another 4 damage here. But them only having 1 card in hand is also pretty good, so... That's a nice draw, too. That's true, they are missing damage. They could have been attacking with the Nomads at least once or twice. Oh yeah, Nomads is nonsense. I fully fully believe that nobody knows how it works. I feel like they have something. What is it? Okay. So I could path the construct here. That would allow me to kill the Nomads. It would put shields down on their turn. Okay, let's think about this. So I guess the thing is, if I path this construct now, it guarantees the Nomads dies, at which point they need to draw into exactly both pieces of the combo, which is better than if I give them the opportunity to draw either Nadu or Illusionist, whereas they in this case they would need exactly Illusionist Nomad. Yeah. So I think that this path, or sorry, they could get Nomad Nadu also, because I'm about to give them a land. So yeah, I think this is making my odds better because a Nomad will not be in play. Because if this brainstorm did not hit a Nomad, they are dead. And it has to be Nomad plus, like I said, Nomad plus Illusionist or Nadu. I don't think there is a reason to... Is it only 14? 5, 6, 79, 10, let's... Hello? There we go. 3, 8. Yeah, okay, we are 1 off. Damn. Damn, they would have tried to Thassa's Oracle there. I should have waited till their upkeep or till their draw step. I was thinking about it, but casting this Lauren doesn't really do anything. So actually, is that true? I think it does nothing, but I'm going to play it anyway. I can kill them in my upkeep, which is funny. I was going to say, like, if they have to pass the turn, then that could be real, but I don't see why they would have to pass the turn. Okay. They don't win here. I mean, this is a good example of how Lauren might be good. Because I don't even have to go to combat to kill them. Okay. They get a land in play that they can't crack. Yeah, they're dead. All right, cool. I guess, sorry, not necessarily, because they can draw another 8. But they basically are digging for... No, actually, their basic planes is already in play. Right, so they have to hit a white duel plus plow in these 4 cards, or they're dead. And the fact that they're doing it now means that... Okay, they found the plow. No, just another plow. All right, cool. You're dead. I can kill them multiple different ways, but doing it this way is funny. Yeah, like I can also just attack with 2 flying creatures, let's be clear. But this is the fun way to win. Phew. Okay. Gonna take a little mental break from that one real quick, and we're gonna do a play point giveaway. Give me 1 second to find my codes. Whew. Here we go. All right, everybody. Naked flute. um uh you know what? Yeah, I will do it. The giveaway is Naked Flute. If you would like to enter for the giveaway for a 120 Magic the Gathering online play point code given to us by our friends over at Daybreak Games, please type, unfortunately, Naked Flute into the chat, because I can't help myself. And hopefully I don't say that again, but I can't promise it. We will be pulling the winner at the end of this next match. Bone the Naked Flute. All right. Match 4. Let's see how it goes. Great start. Just going to put my mouse over the mulligan button real quick. Damn it. You motherfuckers. Oh boy. This can at least do more off of a single plains and it doesn't lose to wasteland. And I think on the draw, I just have to try this. Reddit from you see this. Bleh. You keep this in wasteland aggressively. Sounds perfect to me. All right, we drew a basic swamp. Literally perfect. Mr. Streamer, I have a question. I might have an answer. What is your question? Smell of days, yeah. Since we're a land destruction deck, why aren't we running Dust Bowl for maximum land destruction? You might just have to try that out. Where do baby Orions come from? Shut up, Mike. I love you. I'm just gonna cast Stoneforge. If I cast Thalia, it's just gonna get Bowmastered, and I'm gonna be upset about it. All right, cool. Formal wear time. Have we tried running Sinkhole? No. No, we have not. Yeah. I think there may be still some merit for Batterskull. Main problem is I just kept I'm playing as Reanimator. Okay, that's what's happening. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I keep the way the tempo decks play, I think Batterskull might be worth playing because they're playing a lot more on the ground, particularly in the Corey Steelcutter versions of like Blue Red. I have yet in like the 2 dozen matches or not 2 dozen matches, like dozen leagues I've done uh since Dragonstorm came out, I have not played against a single tempo deck. Or I barely played against a tempo deck. Have not played against a single, I think, blue red. All right, what am I playing? Thoughtseize, Force of Will, Tameo, and Wastelands. So this is their hand. I think I'm just going to start by seizing the Tameo. Basically, my goal here is, oh god, I just want to be in a situation where I can top deck a removal spell for the Atraxa and we can get somewhere. I guess that the anime dead kind of messes that. So I guess I'm supposed to take a Force of Will actually, because then they have to pitch the Tameo to the Force of Will to counter the swords. Cool. So I can draw swords, I can draw solitude, I can't draw recruiter until I draw another land. Thalia would have prevented a lot of this, huh? I figured I was playing against tempo, and then I just was playing against. I Harain says this blue-black training wheels. Um, like I strongly believe Skyclave should be able to exile Atraxa. They should just get a 7/7 if they answer it. What's unfair about that? No, so blue-black tempo I've played against a lot. Just no other tempo deck. Wait, did they throw here? I like only just now realized they thought seized my Stoneforge. Yeah, the problem with Phantom Blade is that my opponent sure can just animate dead the Atraxa. But that's better than dying. So it buys us 2 turns. Or no, it doesn't. I can't do math. Just kidding. I'm just gonna do this now. Yeah, Bowmaster's not really what I was looking for, unfortunately. All right. Main deck Fairy Macabre. Appear in my hands. It didn't work. Well, it's a collection of cards I can't really beat, huh? Another force is kind of what I needed to dodge off this to have a shot. I guess I can draw Caracas, and that gets me like maybe another turn. Delta force. Oh, I actually didn't. It only just yeah. I didn't actually. It didn't actually occur to me. Hold up. Delta force. Bowmasters. Okay. So they put me to 1. And I guess that means I'm basically cooked because they can just Bowmaster me next turn. Yeah, unfortunate. Okay. All right, let's bring in these ley lines. All these. I think that's basically it. I'm going to cut the Thalias, the Lauren, and the therapies. That's what I want to get rid of. There we go. Yeah, right? Why couldn't Bowmaster, I guess, or not, Mr. Bones wouldn't have actually done anything there because I was stuck on 2 mana the whole game, but could have. Imagine. I Phantom Blade the Atraxa and then scoop it up. Um, I don't think I've ever gotten to do it because I think my opponents have scooped to the possibility of it every time I've been in that position. I got to do it to a Barrowgoyf, but I think that's about it. I think the coolest thing I've gotten back with an Emperor Bones is the 10-drop Willamog. I did that against Cloudpost at Eternal Weekend. I lost, by the way. I dealt them 0 damage because they had 7 spawns in play, so they chump blocked. And then I milled I exiled a really good 20 cards. It was like 2 of their One Rings, 2 of their Karns. They had like 2 or 3 like total cards in their deck left that could actually really kill me, but they drew one in the top 2 or whatever. You got to get the Mega Sloth back. Ooh. That's a good one. How big is that? Is it an 8/8? 10/10? 8/8, okay. If a hand of mine is going to not have a turn 1 play, this is probably as good as it gets. Now they can't daze my Containment Priest when they entomb, so that's pretty important. And for that reason, I am casting this now. Can't daze it. They have to force it. Would much rather not lose to daze than make them like waste, than like make them waste a reanimation spell or whatever. So yeah, they have force. Force pitches brainstorm. Oh, but they don't have. Okay, so we play on. Let's get Lion Sash then. The amount that I've played against Reanimator lately makes me maybe want to find room for Grafdigger's Cage in my deck again. Maybe even just a 1/of Fairy to recruit for. Yeah. That is definitely a Fairy Macabre moment, that's for sure. Can't deny that. Please don't be cantripping into something. Yuck. Shuffle. Shuffle and whiff. Shuffle and whiff. There's only 8 copies of the card that you're looking for. Please shuffle and whiff. Statistically, it's not going to be in this ponder, right? That's how that works. They shuffled. They haven't cast it yet. We've done it, chat. That's fucked up. That's wrong. Naked ley line, so true. I would not expect them to only have 1 to 2 animate dead, but even post board, but I guess I don't understand how reanimator players usually board against me, so another wastelands. I assume they're gonna fire one of them off. No, they're gonna ponder. Yeah, that's fine. All right, I'm just gonna get both my white mana up. Very rare to play more than 2 in the 75. That just doesn't sound right to me. What do I know? All right, well, we got 2 instant speed spells and 2 white mana for our sash. We're just gonna pass the turn for a little bit. Why is that? What? Oh, right, non-artifacts. Get fucked. Yeah. Play shoot the sheriff. Oh my god. That's so funny. Could have maybe just flashed in Bowmaster there, but Nice. We did see Murktide. That is a fair point. I also should have used Karakas on that Sash activation. That was wrong. Yeah, I guess we did see Murktide and Tamio in the main deck. I guess I didn't realize that Reanimator looked so tempo-y, honestly. They leave a card on top. Okay, we'll go to combat. I wonder if they might have Petty Theft to live or Bowmaster just to trump. Bowmaster to trump, sure. I could formal wear back Containment Priest, maybe. That fixes the lets us put something else on the board while still having protection against Entomb. Do we trust him? I have done it before. I trust Moto. But also fair point. The other thing I could do is formal wear back Stoneforge. Notably, if they're very low on animate deads, Entomb isn't even really a thing I should be worrying about because they can't reanimate right now. So I actually kind of want to formal wear back Stoneforge, maybe. I'm not super worried about Daze because it would have to be one of the two cards in their hands. And I don't think there's any one card I'm really that worried about. Yeah, it resolves. Okay, I'm just going to Stoneforge for Phantom Blade here. Apparently, I should have formal word back Bowmasters. Yeah, they shuffled off that Ponder, so I think this game's over. It might not. Yeah, I was gonna say it might not literally be over because they can have some like a fatal push, but it's pretty close to over. Especially if we just get to Bowmaster their Bowmaster. Yeah, I should have played it in response to that Bowmaster, or in response to that Thoughtseize. You are right. Yeah, Baraglyph. Animate dead on my Bowmaster. Sure. Still have lethal, so this is no problem. And they know I have lethal too. It should have masked my orcs. You're so right. Missed that on 1 damage. It's got menace. The 4th attempt to block will not work. There we go. Okay. All right. Let's just have a solid 7 that includes a Leyline of the Void. That would be my preference. We do have bones. You're right. It's the best deck building. I mean, I'd still be playing black if Bowmaster got banned. I mean, probably. I just don't see it as a thing that's going to happen anytime soon. Thoughtseize is good. We played a build of this deck with no Bowmaster when Bowmaster wasn't well positioned. I'm pretty sure would still definitely play black over mono white. I think, let's put it this way, I'm not playing mono white. Mono white just isn't good. So my opponent kept 7. I have a hard time mulliganing this because we're really only mulliganing to Leyline. We don't have any other graveyard hate. So like it's either Leyline or we are Stoneforging for Lion's Ash or like Containment Priest. But those are all kind of bad on the draw anyway. So yeah, I thought Thoughtseize is okay. I'm gonna try this because it has a lot going for it. It definitely can just I could just die, but I think there is enough in this hand that makes it worth keeping. Do I solitude this Tameo is another question, though. I'm pretty sure the answer is no. I'm just going to play a Vial. All right, it resolves. Pretty much have to solitude it now. All right, cool. I really hate every time I have to evoke a solitude on Tameo, but I don't really feel like this is a game where I'm winning against the turn 2 flipped Tameo, so uh-huh. Yeah, I am wastelanding this, yeah. Mhm. Yep. They are stuck on lands. Let's go. So I'm only thinking because one option I have here is to cast Stoneforge, Violin, Sash, but I think I don't want to let my. I guess you can argue whether my Solitude would have gotten dazed or forced if they had one, but they have resolved a Brainstorm and a Ponder since. And I think I'm happy to just hold up my mana here. Um, Surveil, and I can like Violin Stoneforge for Sash, and then Violin Sash before I take the Vial up to 3. I think that's good enough. Are they finally? Okay. What do you have here? Is the Thoughtseize? I would prefer to not get Thoughtseize. All right. I This is, I guess, the one thing that not going for Stoneforge is bad against is a Thoughtseize, but I think I just have to let this resolve. Yeah. Yep. And that's something. Got to be better to Violet in. No, not necessarily, because if I draw like a formal wear, I would much rather my Stoneforge be in the yard right now. It also, I don't really want to let them take any of my equipment. So, like, what's the alternative? I Violet in, get nothing, and then they definitely get my Solitude. I'm not really into that either. Getting Thoughtseized again is kind of a bummer. That 1/2 gets irrelevant real fast. Yeah, that's fine. Playing against the third Thoughtseize, I am not putting Yora in my hand this turn. Just play a like a Barrowgoyf, please. Thank you. I appreciate that. They listened. All right. There's a lot of things we can just die to, but at least we have a good clock. But my matchup here definitely suffers from no cages, no fairies, no anything like that. Okay. Why are they doing this in their I guess maybe they have Entomb. No. Okay. Murktide. Yep. Okay. Well, I can fog a Murktide for a while, so we've got that going for us. Keep a card on top. Void Walker. Okay, cool. That's the exact kind of card I kept my Skycleaver on for, so yeah, I was just noticing what time it is, man, Cork. A little late, but still could be relevant. We're up 8 minutes because my opponent's taking forever. Another Void Walker. Okay. Okay, they're going down to 5 to do this. What are they hitting? That's yeah, okay. Um do you have Go for the Throat? I was supposed to activate Bile here. I was supposed to go Bile first. Amateur mistake, but it's okay. They have another Murktide. That's what this looks like. They were trying to cast something. Never mind, it's not another Murktide. No idea what it was then. All right, can I draw Flicker Wisp? That'd be fun. So what you do is you activate Vial in hold priority Caracas bounce the Orion. That way, if they have like a petty theft to bounce your Vial, you will still get to put in Yorion. But if you just bounce, wait for it to go to your hand, and then try to activate Vial, yeah. Oh, what does that get us? Phantom Blade. That's got to be good enough, right? And I think this is a point where we can also probably play Sash. Yeah, we can play Sash. We have the Caracas Orient to protect it anyway, so yeah, I think we got this. Feeling pretty good against my opponent only having one card in hands. Holy Duck, thank you for the follow. Hope you're having a good time. As a heads up, we are nearing the end of this match, at which point I will be pulling the winner of the raffle for or the drawing for the play point code. So if you haven't done so yet, you should type naked flute into chat. No caps, just one word. Don't think too hard about what that means. I will not be showing that. Nice try. Okay, they're finally going to combat. All right, cool. Game's over. I shouldn't say that. Game's probably over. This game could technically go on for another turn if my opponent has a petty theft here. But it's not actually going to go on that long. Yeah, okay. For the record, I'm bouncing this because it means that their Brazen Borrower will not go on an adventure because that fizzled. So just for in case anybody's aware. I'm just going to do this now. I didn't play around it because I knew they could only have one, okay? Probably should just get Cauldra here when they're basically dead, but whatever. You got it. Crocus is dealt with right on time. Yeah, you're dead. Cool. Okay, finally. All right. We are ending the giveaway. And Edric HWM, you will be getting a play point code in your Twitch DMs momentarily. There you go. All right, we're going to the last match. Yeah, I would say it's basically always been favored post board. The pre board games get pretty messy, but I think you definitely have to respect it. It's a little bit easier to respect considering now that I see what their decks look like, they're much more about like the creature plan B, and then like sometimes they just randomly get you with an Entomb. Um, and I think that's better for us because it's just more games where we are not getting turn to a track set or whatever, because those are really the only games that we lose for the most part. This hand kind of sucks. Yeah, we can do better than this. This is gonna be fun. I got GLHF. I don't like that at all. Two crop rotations. I mean, play the bog. You know you want to play bog. Come on, just play bog. It's gonna be fine. Just get your untapped land out of the way. Damn it. The thing is, I'm not even sure what they would crop rotate for here, right? Like, it's their only green source. What do? Turn it into a forest? Yeah, I think just like depths and make 3 land drops might be the other way to go. It's pretty risky, but maybe. Or Saga is the other possibility, yeah. They already drew a Saga. Interesting. Okay, well, I assume now they're going to play the bog. They could play stage, but I feel like this is a turn where you probably play bog. No? Okay. Because I don't know, how do you make... I guess they get a Mox Diamond. That's how they're going to make constructs. Rumble. Okay. They find a loam, so that's a bummer. They take the Mox Diamonds. Okay. Play stage, play another diamonds. They discard the maze. They have bog left in their hands. mean, that works. Oh, they did. Yeah, you're right. They totally did. I missed that. Block the army. Block the army. Block the army. Damn it. Well, that's fine. All right. Well, I definitely kept a hand with 3 discard spells in the worst possible matchup. But we'll see where we go. Unfortunately, given that they just what the hell? They just put Loam in their hands. Yeah, I never listen to the bot because it'll always just lead you astray. They get a wasteland. That's sort of interesting. I'm gonna F6. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I'm losing this. Not sure what I could really draw here. Yeah, we can just move on. So yeah, I don't have a lot here, but what I do have is pretty good. So the ley lines are not good here. I want to make that clear. This is mostly just a concern of I think Leyline can do more than a lot of the other cards that happen to be in my deck. Um, this looks about right. Yeah, I think this is right. Finally found a matchup where White Orchid Phantom would be nice, but like this is definitely a matchup where you really need more than one of White Orchid Phantom. Oh yeah, I can. Yeah, you're right. I can bring in 2 paths for 2 swords. That's basically free. These you have like a basic forest at most. I guess actually I think this build plays more, but also you really don't want to give you most of the time they have infinity mana. Um, oh, thank you. Goodbye giveaway. Most of the time they have infinity mana, and it's really just you want to be able to get the game over with. Current lands builds are not on spheres. They're pretty much mono green. And they play Malevolent Rumble. They're kind of low on lands, honestly. They're more like a 30, 31 land deck as opposed to like the 40 of before. Wow, this hand is a ley line and then nothing. Yeah, that's not it. Okay. This has by far the best card we could ever be casting against them. So I'm going to keep this. And I'm going to put that on the bottom. Yeah, I want to make it clear. Wrath of the Skies is like uh, I- I- essentially unbeatable for lands. Like against a deck like ours, where like we are able to, for the most part, go toe to toe with them in the first place. Wrath of the Guy's just like lights out. Yeah, this Wrath of this guy's already looking great. I'm guessing their plan here is to like crop rotation into depths. I have a solitude for that. Okay. Well, got another thing I can kill with this Wrath of the Skies. They they identified the wrong deck. Yeah, at least confirm not Stream Sniper. That's very true. I don't care about any of this. I am closer to recruiting for another Solitude than I am anything, just to have more protection against a um what's it called? Merilage. Um and I think that's what I'm gonna do because like I think it's either that or I could get Lion Sash maybe. Um I am I'm gonna get Lion Sash here. I really only need Solitude against exactly double crop rotation. And yeah, I think Sash is good for if they have Loam or something, you know, or Rumble into Loam, something like that. Stage, Diamond, Exploration, Disruptor Flute. Looks just like a whole bunch more stuff that dies to Wrath of the Skies. What if they take Flute for my Sash? They do take Flute. Um, yeah, it's the team they've already played. Yeah, okay. Just gonna take their green source away right now. If they have a crop rotation, I'm pretty happy to be getting rid of it here, honestly. Um, oh sure, I guess they can do that. I guess for that reason I was supposed to, or no, because they could have done it on my turn too. So maybe I'm just not supposed to do that. Oh, Sajiri step, that's huge. That means that they can't crop rotation to protect the to protect their Merilage. That's really important. It's kind of fun that I don't even have to cast this Wrath of the Skies because their draw sucks. This is just gonna get a Cauldron so that I can kill them. Ooh, my god, thank you for the follow. Hello, welcome. Flute. Oh, they flute the Stoneforge, right? I forgot they could do that. It's literally right there. But I guess that's fine because that means I can uh, just play the Sash. If the Sash isn't getting fluted, that's pretty good too. Do I usually stream DT? Hell, it's all I stream. It's basically, there's very few exceptions. Interesting. Okay. Oh, sure. Okay. Okay, now they're gonna needle my Sash. So I could Wrath this guy's for 2 here. But, like, I don't need to. So I think I'm just gonna I could Skyclave the needle on Sash. That actually seems fine. Now we get to play Sash next turn. We're safe from Life from the Loam. Not that a Loam is even that good here. Like, they really need to find a Depths or a Saga. And they just can't find it. They loan back 2 cards I don't care about. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna play Sash. Another flute. Okay, sure, you got it. They have played 4 needles. Approximately one of them matters. Okay, they finally found a Depths. I forgot to play my land. Oh, yeah, thank you. Yes, please. Oh, right, they can just play another one. That's why they're doing it. Okay. Okay, that's pretty important. Um, I don't need that. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna wisp their Lage. I'm not gonna attack with anything because they can just make another. Connor plays Magic. Hello, thank you so much for the follow. How's it going? They're gonna make another one. And then one of two things happens. Either they just go to attacks, or they could wasteland their step, loam it back to try to give it protection. Um, if they go for that, I have to Solitude. Otherwise, I'm just going to chump block, um, and then I Formal War back the Wisp after that. But it looks like they're going for the greedier play that might be right, but I'm kind of feeling like it's not personally. No, we're not dead. We have Solitude. No, Bones would have answered all the loam through all these needles. That is true. So I think here we probably have to Wrath for. Honestly, there's an argument that we just waited, that we needed to Wrath earlier, um but I think we got a little, just the fact that I think that we're mostly just in a bad spot because they specifically loamed into two depths at the same time. Um, if that had not happened, I think that we would be still mostly fine. Um, so what can I do here? I can, if I Wrath for two, my Sash and my Stoneforge are dead. But I think the important thing is that without the explorations in play, they aren't able to step the Merit Lage they're about to play. Um, which means that we can still chump with the Wisp, which means if we Wrath for, I think we might actually just need to Wrath for one and then put Yorion in our hands. We chump the Merit Lage with the Wisp, then that turn after that we can Yorion, we can Stoneforge for like Formal Aware, uh recruit for a Solitude, and we have another answer to one. Um and we get to Flicker the Skyclave and then answer the Flute on Sash. So yeah, okay, I think we have a path forward here. Um but we really need these explorations out of here. That's the important part. Yep. Okay, you have a Lage. I can block it with Wisp. Yep. I have played D&T for my entire time playing Legacy for exactly that reason. I don't know. This deck just really clicks in my brain. Um, they can loam back. They get Deep's Wasteland Saga. Okay. So the hand is Deep's Waste, something else that I think I technically know about, um, but I'm not gonna be able to figure it out right now. So shadowy backstreet, huh? Well, I can't play this after. Well, shit. I guess I'm keeping that in my deck because I would like to top deck it. Yeah. Um, Gaius Baltar, how's it going? Good taste. Okay, we are recruiting for a solitude, stone foraging for a formal wear, and we're probably chumping with the Orion here. Uh, there's 2 loams. There's no reason to eat a loam. There's two loams in the yard. There's another one already here. Stage depths. Um, I guess I'm gonna take the depths then, just because it limits the options. They play stage. I'm pretty sure I'm chumping here. What do I have to formal? I have a oh yeah, because I have a wisp to formal wear back. That's actually pretty big. Yeah, okay. Little late vial. Okay. So I have 7 mana available. I can yeah, I think we are actually in an okay position now. So we formal wear back the wisp, get rid of this merit lage. Um Unfortunately, we don't have any other creatures to get back with the formal wear, but maybe I'll no. Yeah. So I think I'm just gonna formal wear back my wisp, get rid of the lage, hold up. I guess I'm not gonna hold up 4 mana. I'm gonna immediately eat loam, dark depths because they have deeps in hand, and then I have 1 extra white mana if I need it. Um, the infinite constructs might be annoying, but they are far from that being a reality. And we also have a Cauldra we're able to cast right now. Is this also the game that it is the one where I Skyclave to the needle, so I don't have to worry about a needle off of this saga. There's also notably not a flute on or a flute or a needle on Wasteland, so if this stage becomes a saga, we have a lot of draws to deal with it, actually. We have Recruiter, Lauren, Witch Enchanter, Wasteland, another Flicker Wisp. Crop rotation. Is another Dark Depths, maybe? Could just be another Saga, I guess. But they seem about as sure as I am as to what they're going to get, so. It's another Saga, okay. I assume this gets a Mox Diamonds. Yeah, they've only seen one, so. I assume it's either Mox Diamond or nothing. Thankfully, they dredged over the boots, so that can't happen. It's game 2, by the way. I have to win another one after this. Yavimaya. I think I knew that was a card they loaned back forever ago. Really wish I had Yorion. That'd be cool. All right, so that's the Wastelands. They have Echoing Deeps and some card I don't know about. Don't you dare talk about 2 Yorions, Trilith. Now, if only. That said, one thing that's pretty good against infinite constructs is like a 9/9 flyer with vigilance. But I think I actually just want to Lauren the flute. I can't really get a saga out of here reasonably, so I just want to get my Cauldron into play, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the one on Felia, obviously. That goes without saying. And I think I am actually just going to attack with Cauldron and Wisp right now. Yeah, nothing I care about in their yard right now. They have 3 Wastelands and a Ghost Quarter, so Echoing Deeps is not looking too great. They have 2 Sagas. They can only make 1 construct this upcoming turn. I can also start like activating Lauren because I'm pretty sure my average draw is better than theirs, except for when they get Maze of Ith. Bowmaster. I mean, that's another reason to have Lauren actually. I can attack with Sash and Wisp and Cauldra. If they block everything on Sash, I can eat everything I need to. They can get, well, no, because they can get to 5/5 constructs. So I think I'm supposed to just still attack with Wisp and Cauldron. That's it. But them mazing Cauldron means I have a great blocker back, so they have to figure out how to deal with that now too. Okay, cool. I'm feeling in a good spot. I think we can get this game, and I just got to finish it. I have to get this game over fast enough to have enough time to finish the third one. Yep. Six tokens are a lot. They might be 7/7s. They could like get a diamonds, discard the echoing deeps in their hands. I can get a map. That also works. I will be exiling the Saga as soon as I get priority, but I assume that they are probably about to play Deep's copying Saga. No, they don't. Okay. Then we can wait until after combat. Cool. Okay. I think that I am legitimately treating this as a potential way I win this game. Let's activate. I think this damage is legitimately just pretty important, and they are over it. Okay, cool. I didn't expect them to concede to that, but I'm happy I did it then, because now we have a lot more time. All right, game 3. This league has taken 3.5 hours. What the fuck? This hand sucks. This hand is better. I'm gonna put back the Witch Enchanter, I think. It's the Witch Enchanter is definitely good. It's just I'm not sure if I'm gonna cast it in time for it to matter. I think I'd rather just have it in my deck. Oh, 2 Thoughtseize for 2 swords. Yeah, that would have made sense. Needle, Exploration, Diamond, Flute. What do you take? They take the Exploration. Okay. There's oh, just another Saga or Boots. They take Saga. That makes sense. That's what I would take in their position too. All right, they play Exploration, the Saga. Okay. I think I'm just gonna flute Saga right now. Oh, no lands after that. Interesting. Well, that looks fucking terrible. I'm I'm gonna recruit. What am I recruiting for? Um, am I recruiting? If I recruit, I need to get a solitude or I'm just dead to crop rotation. So I think I'm actually gonna hold one turn here. Because I don't really want to get a solitude. Fluting my vial, yeah, that's fine. Annoying, but oh, Caracas. Okay, so they are just gonna go for a Lage kill. They don't have boots in their deck again, so that's good for me. The crop rotation, yeah, okay. Looks like they are just going for it, and I'm gonna have a wisp, and they're gonna be sad. Second pithing needle. Okay. Well, that's pretty good, huh? I'm like tempted to fire this off just to get this over with quicker. Um, but I think that's worse than just recruiting for like a Stoneforge. Like if we recruit for Stoneforge, how do we lose? We can they can't they can't Lage. Yeah, I think that this is just safe. I could recruit. Yeah, yeah, I do like recruiting Lauren actually. I just want to. Yeah, okay. All right. So what are they going to do? Wasteland is probably the most complicated draw that they could have had, which is pretty rough when this match has already taken 40 minutes. I think they're supposed to just pass and try to go for it in my end step. Um, and unfortunately for me, I'm gonna keep this on 3 for now. I drew a land. That's huge because that means uh okay. Now I can Lauren the needle on Vial. And then I just have Wisp. I could also hit the one on Flute. It's kind of similar. Um, wait, no, I don't want to do. The problem with hitting Flute is then they can waste us. They can waste our waste. We have to waste them, and then they have the Lage in play, and we can't answer it. So we actually have to kill the needle that's on Vial. If they wait, no, I'm saying with the Lauren trigger on the stack. If they waste our waste, it means we have to use the swords, which means we're then dead to crop rotation. Is the problem? And I think we can play around crop rotation by not giving them that opening. Then the Fleece play rebalance. Maybe this league might have taken too long. You're probably right, and I'm just losing it, but did you top deck a loam? There's no way. There's no way you just drew life from the loam. Oh my god. Okay. Um so we have to chump with the wisp so I can get a formal wear here, but I can also Yori on next turn. Shit. Uh Nope. All right. Yeah. Ugh. Fuck. That was so close. That loam off the top was unreal. Fuck, man. Witch Enchanter would have been amazing. To be fair, we also wouldn't have had we would have been so low on mana there that it wouldn't have been good. That I think we would have lost earlier probably. But man, damn it. That league took so long. Enchanter off the Lauren draw blows up flute. Oh yeah, sure. I was thinking back to the fact that we put Witch Enchanter back into our deck in our opening 7. That's how far back I was going. Oh god. GG's. That loam off the top was so brutal. God. Oh. Well, chat. I'm cooked. No, it's all good. Chat, I'm cooked. I'm going to bed. Thank you for watching. Thank you. Got a lot of follows tonight. That was awesome. Childish, shut up. Don't say it. I'm gonna go to bed. Unfortunately, I'm used to you rating Harain, but he's not around. So I think we're just gonna have to probably call it there. Yeah. Thank you, Bender, for the follow. All right. I'm going to bed, gang. Thank you so much for hanging out. If you're new, I will be streaming again on Sunday starting around 8:30. Hopefully, that league will not take 3.5 hours. Jesus Christ.